Everyone, this is Ashley Lateki Ellenboss with Sky House Herb School and Apothecary. I'm here with my little friend Sita, our new puppy. She's very, very sweet and quiet, which is great for recording and having kids. Um, and today I'm going to be talking about herbs and strategies for constipation. Now, this is something that I see a lot in my clinical practice. It's something that people ask me about all the time. What can I do for chronic constipation? And I know a lot of people have tried many different things. Probably you've tried smooth move tea. And if you've tried drinking, increasing your water, because dehydration can certainly be one cause of constipation, and you've tried increasing your fiber, and that hasn't worked. So if you've tried that, and if you tried water and you tried fiber, those don't seem to be making any changes, then I want to give you another option, which is not, I would say, a classical recommendation from an herbalist. Usually when we think of herbal medicine and we think of constipation, we might think of herbal laxatives, which can work and can be helpful. Yet the problem with a lot of herbal laxatives is that they can be habit forming. So herbs like senna, cascara sagrada, those are the two main ones that are often used for constipation. The way they work is by gentle irritation to the intestinal lining. So that gentle irritation causes the body to evacuate, which can be very helpful, especially if you have more acute constipation, because your body does need to clear things out. And you could use these herbs, cascara sagrada and senna, occasionally. However, because your body will start to depend on that irritation to evacuate, we don't want to use those herbs for long periods of time, because then your body will say, I don't need to do anything. And then the constipation will continue. So what can we do? Well, one thing that I've seen that's very common in my practice is that constipation can often be linked to tension. Okay. So if you are someone that tends to run a little bit on the tight side, more of a type A person, you're a perfectionist, you're a high achiever, you like to get things right, that overall tension in your body can also show up in the colon. So we can have what is called spastic colon. And this, one of the ways we can know if we have this is that if our bowel movements are small little pellets, like small little balls, that can be a sign of what we call spastic colon or spastic constipation, because what's happening is that the colon is only relaxing just enough to let out a little bit, but not enough to really open to allow a full bowel movement to move out of the body. And so that's problematic. So the way that I approach this type of constipation is through nervines and muscle relaxant herbs. So some of my favorite herbs are going to be herbs like agrimony. Now, agrimony is a wonderful herb for tension. It's especially good for the type of people who hold tension and they're smiling all the time and pretending like everything's okay, but on the inside they're not okay. So if that matches your personality, then try agrimony and start with small drops. Start maybe with 10 drops a few times a day, and then you can gradually increase maybe up to a dropper full a few times a day. But you don't need a ton of this herb to just gently start to release that hypervigilance. Another really good herb for that hypervigilant type person is blue vervain. This is one of my personal favorites because it also is really good for tension that's in the neck and in the jaw. So if you tend to be a clencher, a grinder, you also tend to have a lot of neck pain, then blue vervain is a wonderful herb that's also a wonderful antispasmodic and can help relax the sphincters of the bowels. So for this herb, it's super bitter. A tincture is probably the best way to take it unless you're like me and you love really bitter teas. But as a tincture, start off with maybe the same thing, about 10 drops a few times a day, and see how that works. And then you can build up. If it's too bitter, add those drops to a little bit of water or a little bit of juice to cut the bitter and see if that helps you take it down. There are a ton of other nervines out there that you can try. Now, ones that have the muscle relaxant quality are the ones you're going to want to focus on. So, kava kava is a really nice one. Now, you don't want to use kava if you're going to be driving heavy machinery, as they sometimes say. So, it can be a little bit of a sedative. So, this might not be one if you have to be really active throughout the day. You could do something like blue vervain in the morning. And if you're having problems sleeping along with your constipation, then maybe you take kava at night. Now, kava, I like to make it as a traditional drink where you take a few tablespoons of the powder, massage it in a cloth bag in some almond milk or some sort of nut milk with high fat, strain that and then drink that. Again, that would be for really an evening use, or you can try a tincture, and a tincture would be something similar, about 10 drops a few times a day, and increase that slowly. So all these herbs you can slowly increase. I would say every maybe 4 days, increase it by a few drops and just play with that for a few weeks. You can also use gentle, very gentle herbs blended together. I know there's a lot of companies out there that make nervine blends. David Winston, for example, has a number of really great nervine blends that you can find on his website, Herbalists and Alchemists. So I'll include a link in the description or in the comments so that you can find that product. Now, the other thing that's really helpful for my clients with this type of really tight colon and spastic colon is potty training time. And I know this sounds like really crazy because you're like, I'm potty trained, I'm an adult, but actually training your body to relax on the toilet for periods of time can help train your body to know it's safe, that it's okay, and that there are regular times where the body can be safe and relaxed and evacuate the bowels. So, for example, what you might do is every morning when you wake up, just go and sit on the toilet and bring a good book. Try not to be on your phone, but if there's a book you're reading or a newspaper or a magazine, just sit down on the toilet, set a timer. Maybe you start with 5 minutes if 10 minutes feels too long, but just set a timer for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, and just sit there and try to relax the pelvic floor and relax the bowels. And just imagine that you're letting this energy move downward. So try that every morning and try it every evening. So maybe you do it first thing when you wake up, and then maybe you do it after dinner, or depending on your schedule, maybe before bed. But again, setting the timer is important so that your brain isn't keeping track of things and trying to control everything, but you're letting the timer do that. And that will let your body relax. And you could do that along with the herbs. You could take your drops of your herbs, sit on the toilet, relax your body, and just say, I'm going to try this for 2 weeks, right? I'm just going to try this for 2 weeks and see how my body responds. And you might be really surprised at how much your body really just needed a little bit of herbal relaxing support and a little bit of relaxed time in a private space where you can practice relaxing the tension in the lower body and in those lower sphincters. So I hope this is helpful. This is a shorter video because it's just a to the point type of conversation. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried either of these strategies and how they've worked for you. And if there's any other questions you have about this topic, just type it into the comments section and I'd be happy to take a look at those. So thanks everyone for watching and have a good day.